I'm out Delaware, my niggas.
The youngest in charge.
I'm out Delaware.
I think we got a problem. Got a problem.
Let's go. Get up. It's that club, baby. You hear that? We can't sit down to that. Okay.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Sheik Luch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
We can't sit down to that.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Word, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me and these bitches, I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody. Yo, shit, what they want.
Oh, okay. Shalom, Lord of Christ. Hey, could y'all check and see if it's if y'all can hear like the audio coming from it? Seem like this thing seems kind of low. It's like, there we go. Now I feel like an adult. All right, right here. This seems pretty good right here. All right. All right, y'all, man. What's going on, everybody? Let me go back. Let me pull up the chat real quick. Let me see who's in the chat. All right, we got Gia in the chat. All right, Gia, what's going on? I am Judah's in the chat. All right, I am Judah. What's going on? Shout out to everybody that's tuning in online. Who else? Yeah. The locks down. You ain't know? That's Sheik Luch, man. That's my home. That's my man's. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to I'm trying to get the class started. All right, Most High in Christ. All right, so this is the ISUPK Delaware Thursday night class. It was a scripture breakdown class. Also, it's going to be a I guess we'll add some history in there too. But so what we'll do is we'll start the class off with anybody who might have a question or something like that. If you got one online, then go ahead. You got it.
Could you break down the scripture with the born in sin, shaped in iniquity?
Born in sin and shaped in iniquity. All right, let me try to find it. Where's it at? Where's my?
I think I had heard you.
My scripture.
And then I asked that question. Remember that we just talked about president.
Where's it at? I gotta get it from me real quick. Matter of fact, I can look it up. Oh, it's in KJV. Yeah, 51 and 5. Psalms 50.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Psalms 51 and 5.
God.
All right, Psalms.
Because Christians you try to use this to say, well, I was born this. We born to sin. There's no way that I can be righteous. There's no way that I can be perfect because I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity.
Okay. All right. Can somebody please read it from okay, 51 and 1. Can somebody read from 1?
I got it. Psalms chapter. Oh, somebody. Is the John open?
Oh, Salaki. What's this? 4? All right, you can go now.
All right, Psalm 51 and 1.
Hold on 1 second. When you moved it went out. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think you good. I think I might just have to connect it back again. There we go.
Oh, you talking about that?
No, when he had adjusted the camera and it went out. All right, go ahead. You got it.
All right, Psalms chapter 51 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
To the chief musician, a psalm of David, when Nathan the prophet came unto him,
mm-hmm.
and after he had gone into Bathsheba,
mm-hmm.
have mercy upon me,
mm-hmm.
O God, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions.
Mm-hmm.
Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity,
mm-hmm.
and cleanse me from my sin.
Right. So this is King David, pleading for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead.
For I acknowledged my transgressions,
mm-hmm.
and my sin is ever before me.
Mm-hmm.
Against thee only have I sinned,
mm-hmm.
and done this evil in thy sight,
mm-hmm.
that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest,
mm-hmm.
and be clear when thou judgest.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me.
Okay. So what does this mean?
So is this saying that everything that's around you born in, like, it's a lot of sin, a lot of iniquity in the world. You born into it as far as it's around you, but doesn't mean you have to partake in it or indulge in it.
Yeah, you had your hand up? Okay. So the quick breakdown for it is that, he was taught to sin by his mother, just like we all are.
Right. That's what I was
Go ahead.
It's just like us today, if I may, I think it's just like us today being born, us being born in America's customs and policies and traditions of America, and then we are shaped in them.
Right.
Would that be the same thing?
You're right. Yeah, because our mom teaches us to celebrate Halloween. Your mom taught you, or your parents. But in this case, this is talking about, the mother. I'm like, my mom taught me how to sin. She taught me to eat pork. She taught me to, celebrate Halloween and Christmas. And my mom taught me those things, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you was formed. That's how you was born into sin and shaped in iniquity, because you were shaped by the people that took care of you, your mother and your parents and people that were around you. So when a kid is born, it ain't like, the kid, that's not an excuse for you to say, well, I can't do nothing because I was born in sin. And this is the reason why, the pastor doesn't have any answers, or he doesn't know the Bible, because, that's really pretty simple. Go ahead and tell the pa.
So then that's almost okay. What I kind of envision in my head was
Salaki. And so when he said, in sin did my mother conceive me, right? Because she was in sin and the things that she was doing. Go ahead.
So then that means people can't make the statement, I'm a product of my environment. That's pretty much the same thing, right? Because your environment shapes you to be okay. To shape who you are, shape you into who you are, and kind of like the decisions that you make. But that would that kind of be the same?
Right,
thing?
I know what you're saying, because somebody give me condition of the battle. And Ezra. Oh man, I was listening to Ezra. They got the Apocrypha on the audiobook too. So if y'all ever need to check it out, the Apocrypha is on audiobooks. You can check it out on Audible. And I was listening to the book of Ezra, Second Ezra, Ecclesiasticus. I'm just kind of trying to work my way through to read the whole Apocrypha. But go ahead, sis. Yeah, on Audible. Yeah, yep, it's on there. Apocrypha. Yeah. It's dope. It's dope. I like people reading to me too. Why not have a white man do it? You know, I listen to that joint. I think it's probably like maybe $10 to $15 though. $10 to $15, but you know, hey, you got the Apocrypha audiobook, and then it's good too because you can follow along with it with your Apocrypha. You know what I mean? And then you know exactly how long it's going to take to read the book of Ecclesiasticus. So I know like the Apocrypha is Slovakia. The Apocrypha is like 9 hours or something. Yeah, if you read it all the way through, like straight through. I got a lot of books on audiobooks. So I just go to my library. So the Apocrypha is it's like 9 hours. It's the Apocrypha is 9 hours and 58 minutes. So it's like 10 hours. But if you got 10 hours, you know what I mean? You got 10 hours, you can read that whole thing. But you know, reading the scriptures like that, like reading it all the way through, it just really don't help me because I read like through the book of Romans, the book of Isaiah, all these different books, and then you read it all and don't remember none of it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you can read it all the way through, like just to get like a good like history, like get the history behind it, and you like, okay, that's good. I kind of got a gist of like the whole story, but then at the same time, it's like you got to be able to understand it and really break it down. So. And then, you know, the if you read it on audiobooks or something like that, the dude ain't taking no break. He trying to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? So he just gonna read it straight up. You know what I mean? He ain't got time to go back or nothing. You know what I mean? So, you know, you're gonna read it fast. All right. Oh, go ahead, sis.
I listened to the dramatized version.
Oh, you like the music? Oh man, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? The music? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whatever works, you know what I'm saying? Whatever works for you, you know what I'm saying? Like that's actually, it's, you know, I like audiobooks because, you know, you can, especially if you read an audiobook where somebody is actually, like the author is actually breaking it down. Cause I listened to, what's that called? Well, it's just like you read it, but I listened to Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, 50 Cent new book. And he narrated the whole book. It was like 8.5 hours worth of, you know, content. All right.
He think people listen to it who's a black voice, like reading Psalms, reading Genesis, you know, like the book of Genesis. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, pretty sure. All right. So that it pretty much answers your question. Oh, I'm good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Go ahead. Okay. You got it, Mataziala.
Did you want that scripture read, sir?
Which one?
The condition of the battle.
Yeah, Salakia. This goes out to what Mataziala was saying when he was saying where people try to use it as an excuse to say, well, I'm a product of my environment. So I can't be anything great because of the circumstances that I was placed under. All right. So you got it, Mataziala, whenever you're ready.
Start at 56. Okay. It's the book of Ezra, second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 57.
Right on.
Then he answered, Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle with men that is born upon the earth shall fight.
Right, because remember, like, okay, you know, we you know, sometimes we, you know, you can ask you, sometimes we might tend to ask ourselves like, well, if we supposed to be following the commandments, if we supposed to be, you know, these people that are not supposed to be engaging in things. We supposed to keep the commandments, not be on drugs. And why are we around it all so much? You know what I mean? Why am I born on a block where when I walk outside, is people on the corner selling drugs? Why am I born around, crackheads and I see like this is as something normal? Like when you think about that, when we be in our neighborhoods and stuff like that, when you see like crackheads walking around, you don't even look at it like it's anything different. You see heroin addicts like leaning over, and you just going about today, you know what I'm saying? You go walk to the store, walk back, in fact, you'll walk through, somebody like leaning, you see a whole bunch of dope fiends leaning, you'll just be like, excuse me, just walk right through them and keep going about your day. Like, that's not normal. You know what I mean? But this is what we tend to ask ourselves, like, well, why, if we not supposed to be having sex with hoes, then why is hoes everywhere? Why every time I turn on TV, I see hoes? When I go to the club, I see hoes, and they all over the place if we're not supposed to be with them. And this is what the Lord said. Read it one more time. This is the condition of the battle.
Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which men that is born upon the earth shall fight.
Right. This is the battle that we all have to fight. Yeah, the Lord likes you to see if you got fight in you. A lot of times we give up the fight because, a lot of brothers, they give up the fight because it's just too strong. Where it's like, it's so strong, it hurts. I remember times where when I first came into school, like I wanted to smoke weed so bad that it consumed my brain. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, oh man, I just couldn't shake it. You ever be driving and then like thoughts come in your head, and then the thoughts that come in your head they just overpower like your brain so much that you're driving and you're looking at the road, but you're really not looking at the road. And then you realize, and you like, when you kind of like come out of it, you're like driving straight, you're still driving. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But what this is talking about, like what Tyler Boss said, it's not an excuse for you to be a homosexual because you was molested. You know what I mean? It's not an excuse for you to be a drug dealer because you were born around drugs. That's not an excuse. But of course, we go into those things because we make those bad decisions. But at the same time, once you get understanding and you learn, then you realize that those aren't excuses to be in the position that we're in, right? Because you can't like blame the Lord for the curses. When you look at the curses, like people like, we're cursed. Nah, the Lord didn't put the curse on us. We put it on ourselves. The Lord told us, if you mess with these people, this was going to happen. And what do? Every single time without fail, we just find a way we can salvage something good. You know what I mean? And Europeans, I'll start saying it like that. You know what I mean? We just try to find something we can salvage. It's like, well, we got one good snake. We found one good snake out of all the poisonous ones. And this is our battle that we fight here. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the condition of the battle. Any more on that?
All
right. It's our condition. Go ahead, Matalapa.
Salakia, I'm tired of seeing black people fail on the battlefront.
Yeah.
Now, I don't see anything wrong with Whoopi Goldberg. I'm gonna just segue that, tie into that. Like, I don't see anything wrong with what she said, and we should be able to make.
You got the mic.
About anything, we should be able to be right there. Don't we have freedom, so-called freedom of speech, but then we know that. Like situations like this should help us understand that we got limited freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Only when it doesn't talk about a certain specific people.
Right. You got freedom of speech long as ain't nobody listening.
Right. Because and then they don't. That's funny. And then it's like like people in her position don't even know what to say. Like, right. Her last name is Goldberg.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? She should be able to.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even think about it like that.
She should be able to comment on that. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even think of it like that.
Come on, man. She should be able to comment on that. And
right, she should be able to say whatever she want to say.
Whatever the hell she want to say, right? Right. And then it's just like, okay, you know, nobody talks about like the black people that was in the Holocaust. That's not just something that was only documented to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
there's other people that affected.
Right, but you know, like I said, you know, free speech is only for when nobody listening.
Right.
So like, you know, like we could stand on the corner and we could talk and say whatever you want. You know what I mean? But because ain't nobody listening. But then like when you go like a person like her, you can't say what you want to say because she got millions of people watching her.
Right, but then that's okay. But okay, so maybe the condition of the battle is for her to be in that position and to say something that'd be so earth shattering at that time to where, you know, but like they'll go and apologize for the things that they said because they, for the life of them, can't see themselves like having a regular job or not still keeping, you know, that type of money that they have.
Could somebody please Google Whoopi Goldberg's net worth, please?
She gotta be at
Whoopi Goldberg net worth. Somebody please Google that.
Yeah, you can't tell me
this is just, and I know that's not totally accurate, but let's just see what is out there.
Alexa, is it plugged in?
I think Alexa's dead. All right. I could probably get it real quick.
Yeah.
I could probably get it real quick. Ain't no sweat. I could probably get it real quick.
We got so many cores.
It says 60 million.
60 million. So what's the worst that could happen? She ride off in the sunset with 60 million.
Right. You're like, come on, man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, she can't ride off in the sunset with 60 million.
Right, but when it comes to it's just like when it comes to like whatever like we go through.
Right, because we don't have. They have culture, you know, like the Jewish people, they have culture, you know what I mean? They like, you know, they're not going to tolerate her saying anything to be even perceived as something that's disrespectful. Right. You know what I mean? Because they have a culture, so, you know, stuff in place to say, okay, you not going to say nothing about us. And we don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have culture, so anybody can just say what they want about black people. You can go on TV all day. You know, you get, you know, more money. You talk about black people all day. Look at what's his name? What's that dude name? The one that was Captain Tazariak went on. Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a stooge. You know, like the Three Stooge. He's a stooge for white supremacy. He's like he'll show you. He's like a good like testament of like what white supremacy could do to you. You know what I mean? Like where you can get up there and just say anything about black people and you'll have no repercussions. Like when you look at like the Japanese people, right? Japanese people, their culture is so intact. The Chinese people, their culture is so intact. The Jewish people, their culture is so intact that if you're a member of that group, like you can't just get up on social media and say whatever you want about the culture because you could lose your life for that. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if a Chinese person got up and talking about Chinese people on CNN. What's the dude's name? The president of China? This dude is like, he's like the man over there in China. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like the boss over there. You know, he the president or whatever, but he's like one of those dudes that rule with an iron, you know what I mean? Iron fist. But if the Chinese person over here that's born in America get on TV and start talking about all China and all that, what do you think gonna happen to their family that's left in China? They're gonna get rounded up and took to the prison camps that are out and, you know, or banished from, you know, mainland China. You know, you banished to Taiwan or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they have a intact culture and that's something that we don't have. So like, you know, Whitney Houston, Whoopi Goldberg, even though she's right, she is right because it was a war about neo-colonialism. Right. That's what it was about. It was war between, you know, and really when you think about it, we could actually learn from that situation because the Jews were integrated with the Nazis. Go ahead.
Did she mention something about it wasn't about race because it was white people and white people? Right. Something like that.
Yeah.
So she had to talk to whoever the dude is at the ADL, and then she came back and was like, "Well, I stand corrected. It was the Nazis trying to exterminate. Like they put these terms to try to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
classify, you know, like they try to separate themselves from not being Esau.
Right, but remember, before all of that, they was integrated with Germany.
Right,
and they had. If you would have told a person of that, I'm not gonna keep saying the name, you know. But if you was to ask one of them, like back in Germany, that you know that they would be thrown in ovens and all that at a certain time, they would be like, you crazy, right? And that's why we're so, our people are so, our leadership is so dumb, because we think that okay, we could be integrated with a people, and we don't even have things in place to protect us if it ever fell apart. You know what I mean? Like the people that are in control of us now, like the leadership, they basically like just think that we're gonna be integrated and then we just gonna just ride off into the sunset forever, right? But it's never going. Nobody ever said that integration had to last to the end of time. Until the end of time. So really, what you're saying is that if you think that integration is going to last to the end of time, then you have no idea what it's like to be in a bad marriage. You know what I mean? A bad relationship. You never had a bad relationship. And I was reading, I was reading this book where it talked about how integration only works with long as the economy is good. You know what I mean? Long as you have a thriving economy, that's the only way integration can work. Because if the dominant people start to lose money, what's going to happen to integration? It's going to fall apart, because if they got to choose between feeding you or feeding their people, who are they going to choose? Their people. So we never even put provisions in place to say, okay, we're gonna protect ourselves if this marriage falls apart. You know what I mean? We never even put those things in place. Like, even if Martin Luther King's dream would go through, even if we would be, yelling from the hills of Georgia, right? That was crazy. It's like it. If we would have let freedom ring from the hills of Georgia, and we would have screamed it from the mountaintops, what would happen if that relationship fell apart? Think of it like this, right? Why did everybody leave Cash Money? Because of what? Money. Why is homeboys killing each other in the hood over what? Money. And before they killed each other and they were fighting over money, what were they? Cool. They were friends. Right? This is why our leadership is so damn stupid and just really don't know anything. And then the young nigga, the old heads will look at the young niggas. Well, sorry, I'm kind of getting too loose. But the old heads will look at the young boys and then look at them like they're the problem. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, look, hold on, let me see. Let me find this scripture.
So like, if I
go ahead, you got it.
You know how I'd be like, the old heads would be like, man, the new generation lost. The new generation this, the new generation that. Well, if you saying this generation came after you, so then you have to take some type of responsibility for that new generation being like that.
Yup.
And then you have to see what your role is in, the whole damn thing.
Yeah. Yep. You absolutely right. I'm gonna get this scripture. Hold on. I'm gonna find this scripture. It is Ecclesiasticus 42:8. Could you read that for me, Mataziala, please, if you don't mind? Or, yeah. The water, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is a good one. This is a good one right here, Kana. You want to write this one down? This is a good one right here.
I'm back there, right? She doing what she's supposed to be doing.
You there, Powerball? Oh, Powerball there. Oh, just as a sidebar, man, shameless plug. Make sure y'all check out the lecture coming up on February the 26th, man. We're going to be in the building. Look, man, if you don't got the $20 donation, still come. You know what I mean? Nobody going to turn you away. Mataziala said it best last night. When we was in class, like, Tuesday night. Nobody's going to turn you away. Still come. You know what I mean? And if you far away and you can't get there, then buy the ticket for somebody that is closer. You know what I'm saying? That way, you still be helping out. Remember, the donations that brothers get in here for the tickets the money that we're getting off the tickets is only going to go back to the brothers. That's it, man. You know what I mean? To put some money back in the brother's pocket, the sister's pocket who helps out with the event. We're going to do this event and we're going to do more events. I'm trying to schedule the next one already after this one is over. And Lord willing, Lord allow, we'll be able to do at least 3 more for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? Hold on. Yeah, 3. Right, 3. One every 3 months. So that's 4 a year. So, I'm already, working on the next one after this one. But make sure you get in the building, man. It's going to be at the Artscape. All right, let's get back to the regularly scheduled program.
All
right.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 8. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish.
Be not afraid, because look, when you come in to get this knowledge, don't be afraid to give it to somebody if if they worthy of getting it. But don't be sitting there talking to somebody that don't deserve to get your wisdom and let it fall. Let your wisdom fall on it. I used to be like that. When I was a trooper, I'd go to anybody's house, anybody that'll listen to me. But at the same time, I had to realize that everybody's not worthy to get the information that you got. Everybody ain't worthy for you to sit on the phone for 2 hours and tell them everything about the truth, and they never come to class. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be that type of person that's going to throw your pearls to swine. Sometimes you just got to just hold your peace. At the club, hold your peace. You know what I mean? I know it feels good, but you don't need to be all going in on the scriptures, man, at the club. All right, hold your peace, right? Because it's gone. You just gonna throw it to the swan, and they're gonna trample on it with the mud. All right, go ahead.
And the extreme age that contendeth with those that are young.
And the what?
And the extreme age that contendeth with those that are young.
Right, the extreme age, the old brothers, the older brothers who want to contend with the younger brothers because you think that they're the problem, and they're not the problem. You know who's the problem? You're the problem. The old man, because guess what? We followed them. The younger brothers followed the old people, and guess what the old people did? Followed after the oppressor. And guess what happened? We lost all our businesses. We lost. Go ahead and talk about.
So like, I didn't mean to but and then now the old heads is following the young boys, because like, like that whole Instagram like culture, like the whole thing that the young boys be on. The old heads is on that, man. Talking trash to each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
Little jeans, big sneaks.
Yeah.
Little
jeans, big sneaks. The little jeans, big sneaks. That's crazy. That's where it's going, man. I can't find nothing on Amazon. They don't have my size on Amazon. That's just clear that they do not have my size on Amazon. But going back to what I was saying is like, read it one more time, Mataziala, please.
Come, sir. Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 8. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish, and the extreme aged that contendeth with those that are young.
That's right. Go ahead, you can finish it out.
Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all men living.
That's right. So even if you're a young man and you see some old brother who think that he, got some understanding or trying to make it look like, the young brothers is the issue. Nah, the young brothers are out here bugging out because the grown-ups are bugging out. You see what I'm saying? Like, what do they have to look forward to? What did the older generation leave to the younger generation? All we do is what? We support other nations, right? And we support, because of our support to the other nations, we support their kids and not having to be criminals, because we give all our money to them. Everything goes out, nothing comes back in. So that young brother, he can't go in his own neighborhood and get a job. He can't go on the corner and get a job, from the local store owner, after he got out of prison, and those things are stacked against him. So what? We finance our own children being criminals, right? Because of our ideology of trying to assimilate in a system that was never built for us. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, so they try to say, well, the young niggas is the problem and this is the problem with everything. Nah, they ain't the problem. Ain't that what we said, Thusha? We told them don't worry about color. Right? Ain't that what we say? I know I heard it growing up. Don't worry about color. It's not about color. It's not about color. And then you expect not to get robbed? It's not about color, right? That's what the younger brothers is in their head. It's not about color. So it doesn't matter if you're black because it don't matter about color, right? When that's what they should be understanding, right, that it is about color, right? But those are the things that we haven't got to the point of understanding yet, and so this is why we shouldn't let the older generation blame it on the younger generation, because we followed the older generation, and guess what? We lost all our businesses, right? Police brutality happened more, right? Like think of all the things that we've done in this place, since 2014. When did all the killings start and everybody got conscious of, black people got conscious? When did Black Lives Matter start? Around the time Tamir Rice and Trayvon Martin died? Yeah, Trayvon Martin. Mm-hmm. Right, so around that time, right? What, 2014, 2013? Yeah, so 2013, right, until now, nothing's changed. So at this point in the game, we still trying to get police reform. It's like it.
Black Lives Matter started in 2013.
2013. So think about it like this, right? Nothing changed since 2013. So think of it like this, right? At this point in the game, we're still talking about cops getting reformed. At this late in the game, we still talking that same junk. We're still talking about, man, look, Mataza, I seen the other day on what day was that? Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. They was out there, his son, the fat son that kind of looked like him with the George Jefferson, yeah. He basically was out there leading a march for voting rights. We're still talking about voting rights at this late in the game. This stage in the game. Go ahead, Mataza.
And for the life of me, black people cannot figure out that how is arguing for voting rights ever going to mean anything
right
here in America? Like what we always say here in Isupk Delaware, man. Yeah. Your vote's supposed to matter.
The only way, let me tell you, the only way voting would work, the only way it would work, like politics would work for us, is if we had our own party. You know what I mean? Like where it was just strictly about our interests. Like we wasn't Democrat, we wasn't Republican, right? We wasn't independents, we was Israelites. You see what I'm saying? And anything that we did was like we would come out with our own candidate. You know what I'm saying? That would run for us and run for blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. Like we would have our own thing. That's the only way it could work, and that's the only way I can see. It wouldn't work any other kind of way. Maybe y'all can help me out. Maybe, you know what I mean? But it would have to be, we had our own thing set up for us. And that's the only way it could work. We can't set anything up by being a Democrat or a Republican or anything like that, I mean, you see how, and this is what makes it, and just going back to what we was originally talking about, and this is why it's like, it should make it so, it should ring in your brain and understand, so that you can understand that what we're saying here in ISUBK is totally right, because if you look at the one people that you can't say anything about, and we're saying that we're really those people, then it would have to be something that was there that you'd be worth checking out or investigating. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it, right? You can say what you want about Africans. You can say what you want about Chinese, Arabs, East Indians, right? But when you say anything about, who I'm talking about, then your career gets, you get canceled. Go ahead.
If I may, those same people, the little hats, right? They'll talk about Arabs all day long. Mm-hmm. They'll talk about Arabs and how Arabs are terrorists and everything horrible about Arabs, mm-hmm. and with no repercussions. Mm-hmm. But you, like you just said, you cannot say, you can't utter a word against them, mm-hmm. because they have amassed so much power, so many riches, not even in America, but across the earth, using our records, using black culture, using real black culture, black brotherhood. You know what I mean? Black philosophy to rule the earth.
That's crazy. And this is why, you know, we nothing ever changes. You know, I don't even like look at what's his name. What's the brother name that was wilding out? Nick Cannon. They took Nick Cannon for the same ride. And Nick Cannon, I advise anybody that's black, don't ever watch Wilding Out again. They don't even got the same spirit with it no more. You know what I'm saying? Anymore. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's on. But you know, because he got the show back once he bent over and spread his behind open. But then he was able to get Wilding Out back. But you know what he should have did? He should have went and put it on YouTube. Right? He could have paid all those brothers right off YouTube. He said, what? I'm going on YouTube. I create another show. You don't even have to be Wilding Out. It could be Getting It On. You know what I mean? It could be another. We could name it something totally different and have the same cast members on a totally different platform. And I'll just go to YouTube and I'll never come back ever again. To hell with Viacom. Who cares about Viacom? You know, because we the only ones that make these shows hot anyway. We don't, Viacom don't make shows hot. They just own everything. That's all they do. They just own it. But we actually make it hot. Like we do everything, Like look at these shoes. Like the Yeezys, all that stuff. We make all that hot. I mean, I know Yeezy, I know Kanye, make money off of it, but I think Yeezy is like in a competition, like in all these other sneaks out there, like Balenciaga, all these other shoes. I think they're out there to just see like what's the most ridiculous shoe that we could put out, the most ugly. Like I seen a pair of Yeezys that look like cockroaches. You got cockroaches on your feet, and they will sell them for like $1,500. So, go ahead, Tajiala.
Salak, if I may, the same thing they're doing with the with the you can't say nothing about the little hats. You can't say nothing about them. It's the same thing they're doing with the sodomites, the LGBT community, because you can't say nothing about them either, or you get canceled or so get infractions and so forth and so on. Because those are two main influences that are keeping black people down. You know what I mean? Because now they got where they attacking Kwame Brown because of his comments going up against Dwayne Wade. And he was talking about the father. He put it on the father, like you should be ashamed of doing that to your son. You know what I mean? And everybody talking about it. The real, everybody talking about it and saying that he's wrong. Like it's wrong to call out evil now. You know what I mean? Yeah,
because remember in this system, man, it'd be so hard to not talk about it. But in this system, under the oppressor, it can't be black men. It can only be black boys. It can't be black women. It got to be black girls. And if you can't be a man, you have to be a girl. And if you a girl, you have to be a man. You know what I mean? Right. Like that's the only way you can, and it makes the oppressor feel safe at night, knowing that it ain't no strong men, and any of the men who try to stand up and be strong, we'll shut them down. That's the way it go. Like we was talking about earlier. Free speech is only okay when nobody's listening. When nobody's listening to you, and you got two people watching you live, who the hell cares? But let it be, 1 million people. Or, your message be exposed. And they don't even got a message. Whoopi Goldberg ain't got no message. She dumb as hell. You know what I mean? But she said one thing and, she had an opinion. And, we see that, the opinions is something that you can't have here in America. Right. You know what I mean? So I think what we should all do with the people who are in power, like Salaki, but the people that are in power, right? This I want to go to this thought, but the people that are in power, they have enough to give us everything that we need. Think about it, right? The people that do have the billionaires, the millionaires that we have collectively as a group have enough money to provide everything that we need. Everything. Even we have enough money to to provide everything we need. But the rich people in our nation, there's a scripture about that, right? The rich of Israel, or maybe that's a prayer that we do. The Bible said the rich of Israel shake the loose the pockets of the rich of Israel. But the rich of Israel, all they do is just legitimize, consumerism, you know what I'm saying, under the oppressor, because what do? Just go out and buy every damn thing. Buying everything ain't equality. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be like, okay, well, I'm just going to buy Balenciaga, Dior, Alexander McQueen, all of the high price stuff to be equal. That's not equality. Go ahead and tell the podcast. Like, I want you to be able to say what you want to say.
If I could, I was about to say, we'll come out and we'll speak in defense of Whoopi Goldberg, right? Mm-hmm. Because we true black leaders, we true black leaders, right? But you'll have why? I wonder why, like, nobody else who, like, why didn't other black leaders who, like, the mass really would listen to didn't speak out and help the sister? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why did Farrakhan? He always going at the little hats, or claim to be going at the little hats, right? Mm-hmm. Why didn't none of the like black leaders who, and even know a lot of the rappers, a lot of entertainers who even know what she's talking about and know about the little hats? Nobody spoke up. Nobody, stood side by side with her. In solidarity with her, or said, you know what, we gonna stand with our sister. Mm-hmm. It's just like they always can pick us apart because they like, if I got Kanal, that's it. Mm-hmm. Right. Everybody else gonna be like, no, I don't want that to happen to me. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Leave Kanal for dead. You know what I mean?
Because that's what we fought for. That's what the civil rights movement was about. That's what the Black Panthers was about. Study it. Look, man, I'm trying to tell you, I've been deep into the books. I'm telling you, my book. Look, like before I came here, I put a book on top of the books that I had. Like, I put a book on top of the books that I had, like, for the lecture. And when I had to put the book on the top book, I had to put it on like slow, because I knew that if I put the book on hard, all the books are just that give you an idea of how high the books is. But that's what we fought for. We fought to be individuals and not have to be forced to be with black people. That's what we fought for. That's oppression to a backwards Negro, is to have to be forced to be with black people. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the worst thing that can happen to you, is be forced to be with black people. Because think about, like, our mentality of, like, whenever we do anything, like where we go to school, we become rich, we go to entertainment, we become rappers, ball players, whatever it is. Think about, even if you're not all of that and you're just a regular working brother, what do you want to do? What is a good life to black people? Go ahead. Yes. I'm gonna drop a bomb. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what our goal is, to get away from each other. Because what is the ultimate oppression? Is to be forced to be around your own people. That's bad in America. But like, say, like, the Chinese, they're cool with being forced to be with each other. Why? Because they are the number one minority group in America right now. They don't vote. They don't do any of that stuff that we do. They haven't picked cotton or anything. And that's why, this lecture that we're doing is so important, because we're doing it in Black History Month. At the end of Black History Month, it's people on TikTok celebrating Black History Month. Like, that's a time to be celebrating something. How are we going to celebrate Black History Month if we in the same space that we've been in since we got here in slavery? Right. Now, yeah, we might have had some, some cosmetic, some cosmetic, adjustments to where we at. But think about our relationship, our power relationship with the oppressor. It hasn't changed since we've been here. We still in the same boat we've been in. Other people that not even from America is further than we are. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. So what are we still fighting for? What are we still voting for? We voting for what? I talked to this sister. She said she voted because she said she voted for this guy because she liked his response to COVID. And I was like, well, damn. I said, well, what's his foreign policy? What do you think about, what is he trying to accomplish, Because, when somebody say he voted, I'll ask them that one question. What's his policies on, on this? Or what's his policies on, what does he think about, affirmative action, whatever it is, whatever I could think about at the time off the top of my head, because I know you really don't know. We look at it like, okay, no matter what the candidate is, long as they're the Democrat, we'll vote for them. You know what I'm saying? Because we're like children, and we're not concerned with power. The things that are like really important in earth, you know what I'm saying? But we're not concerned with none of that. We're like the more weightier things, white people handle all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like think of the mindset that we in. Go ahead, Matazaba.
I was about to say, and that's why it's so important for like black people to teach our kids the truth. To teach our kids the truth, so our kids can think critically. You know what I'm saying? Because like when our kids grow up, we just so used to just listening to our parents tell us anything that we'll just listen to our new parents tell us any of everything. You know what I mean? And then they'll just tell us anything, and we'll just listen to whatever the other person says without doing any research. Without, like you said, what's Joe Biden's policy on
his foreign policy?
Economics.
That'll really get him. What's the foreign policy? Nobody knows. Who the hell knows?
You know what I mean? Like, what is his policy on that? And we can't answer it. All we do is we just wait for them to come around during the election time. We wait for them to pop up in the church or pop up in the restaurant. Chicken. Tell us whatever they want to hear. I mean, tell us whatever that we want to hear. And then we just whatever we hear at that moment. We just stuck in that moment, and then that's what it is. It's like that's what right. Whatever you say to us.
Right. You know why we voted for him? Because he's nice. He sound nice. We don't like to vote for people that don't sound nice. And he sounded a little bit different. He sounded a little bit, because of course, Donald Trump was the most racist president ever in history, right? But remember, Bill Clinton signed the 94. He signed the 3-strike law. All of that. While Bill Clinton was in office, he destroyed black people, and we loved him. Why? Because he played the saxophone and he smoked weed in college, and he got an honorary black card. And think about, is that me? Oh, Salakia, y'all. Hold on one second. Hey, what's going on, Lord Christ? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. I think that's the brother that was supposed to show up tonight.
And I got a question on the scriptures.
I got you. 1 second. What's going on, brother? You out front? All right, I'm gonna send a brother out there for you. All right. All right, no sweat. All right. Okay. You should have took the bet. I bet he wasn't coming. But
from down there, way?
They're 35 minutes away, so he close.
Oh, he's 35 minutes away.
Yeah, that's close. What was I gonna say? Where was I at? War. I mean, Thushi. Not Thushi. Mataziala. Where was I at? I was at. I'll bring it back up. Let me get smite with blindness. In the you know which one I want in the Deuteronomy 28. All right, what we got? We got Big Main in the house. All right, Nahalia. Let's see.
28.
Derry. Sister 19. All right. We say talk about.
He got a embroidery machine.
Yeah.
So we need Nahalia to get down here with that embroidery machine. Fix it.
Yeah, that border machine. Yeah, we need all that. I need to make me a hat.
Yeah, you know what? A hat.
Yeah. All right. A brother that was serious. He said, man, I'm trying to swing through. It came through. Right. All right. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on, brother? All right. So, where was you at?
Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy 28 and 28.
Deuteronomy 28 and 28.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
With what?
Madness.
And black people, we're mad. We're mad. Because we don't, we're mad. Yeah. The only way this system can work is, I remember Dr. Amos said it so good. The only way that this system can work is if we're out of our mind, completely out of our mind, because that's the only way for this whole thing to work. You got to be upside down, flipped this way for this whole thing to work. We can't think critically. We're not concerned with power. We look at power as like a bad word. The Christian church looks at power as like a bad thing. So what? We got to be little children in America, like boys and girls that's not concerned with power and not concerned with anything that's serious in the world. So what do? Right now, while the whole world is looking at Ukraine and looking at, Russia and seeing what's going on, you got different nations picking sides. And what are we doing? Twerking on TikTok, on Instagram, bad bitches, right? That's what we concerned with. We ain't concerned with anything. We haven't put the necessary things in place to protect ourselves from being enslaved again. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, really think about that. If the oppressor wanted to enslave us right now, he could. It wouldn't be nothing you could do about it. You think because we got a Mac 10, or you got a 9 with 100 bullets, you got a 100-round clip, that's going to do something to a drone? That's going to do something to, a biological weapon? You know what I'm saying? What you going to do? How you going to shoot your gun if you can't breathe? You know what I'm saying? So our leadership has never been concerned with protecting ourselves so that we wouldn't get enslaved again by the oppressor, right? What's the point of having economic power? What's the point? Money gonna save us? So we gonna have money, and because we got all the money in the world, that's gonna save us. That's not gonna save you if you ain't got no way to protect it. If we got together right today or tomorrow and we had all the money in the world, what's gonna stop the white man from coming and shutting it down whenever he wanted to? Nothing. Why? Because we don't worry about the things that make sense. We got to be out of our mind. We worry about having fun, chilling and turning up. That's what we worried about. We're not worried about, the world and the world stage and NATO and, you know what I mean? That stuff is way too, I got you, Mataza Pod. That stuff right there is just way too, serious. You know what I'm saying? That's like, we'll leave that to the white man. He can handle all of that, and we'll just sit over here on TikTok and get my followers up. I just hang out here on Instagram and get my followers up, because that doesn't really require any seriousness, right? And so what's the proof that we can be shut down if we think it's all about money? We got Rosewood, Black Wall Street, right? Remember the scripture say, inquire over former age. Like, look at the things that happened before and see if it's practical to happen again if we don't have the things in place for it not to happen again. And right now, we could be enslaved right now. I know you think it probably could never happen again, right? You think at this point in our life, we feel like, well, it can't happen. Why? Why do you feel it's not gonna happen? Because the Lord is protecting us. Right. That's the answer. You know what I mean? That's the right answer. But if the Lord wasn't protecting us, what will we have in place to protect us from not being enslaved again? Nothing. Because we we work against our own self-interest, and we give all that up just to be loved by every nation. That's all we want, to just be loved. Our leadership has literally completely abandoned anything that would protect us, right? And just completely picked up the fight of trying to convince the oppressor that our lives matter. And that, you know what I mean? We don't care about nothing else but just trying to change their attitudes about how they feel about us. That's what our fight is. Unfortunately, y'all, if y'all didn't know, that's the war we in. That's the war we in. We're in a war not of trying to actually get power and gain real, sustainability with a foundation. We're in a war to get the attitudes changed of people and how they feel about us. That's what our fight is right now. It's like the sister, like, what the hell? Go ahead, Matazaba.
When you the last point that you had made about us not caring about anything that's happening like on the world stage, we don't care about politics. We don't care about certain things. Hollywood knows that too, because Hollywood put it in a movie. I was watching a movie. It was The Purge. I don't know which one.
Yeah, but
they was purging. And remember in the black neighborhood. Remember, black people was having a street party. Black people was having a street party. Everybody else,
killing each other.
We dancing. But dude came through the party, just
getting revenge. Yeah. People out getting revenge on people.
Man, we just, we was just dancing and not just like Hollywood understands that. Why would they put it in the movie that way? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It was so true.
Like, think about it, right? We think about our position here in America. Hold on, before I say it, go ahead and read it one more time, Mataziala. Oh no, damn, it's still young man. God damn, go ahead. It gotta be, Barack or something like that. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28:28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart.
Keep going.
Okay. And thou shalt group at
noonday. I'll help you out. Grope. You know what that means? What does that mean? Show me. What does that mean to grope at noonday? You know what to grope at noonday? You know what to grope at noonday? Anybody know what the grope at noonday? What that means? The grope at noonday is like this. Somebody that's blind, you're like this. You can't, noonday is the brightest outside at noon, right? So it's like, that's how we are. We're like, we can't see nothing, like somebody who's blind. Like, we're so mad. It's so ingrained in our minds to be just totally stricken with madness that we're just like the blind man that can't see nothing. We like this. Oh, there's somebody nice right here. There's somebody cool right here, and they're not. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. That's how we are. Like, the Lord did a number on us. Well, the Lord didn't do a number on us. We did a number on ourselves. Right. Because the Lord just told us what the curses would be if we broke the commandments. The Lord didn't tell us. The Lord told us what will happen if we didn't follow the commandments. He told us. He said, these people are going to be not like any other people on the earth. These people are not going to show no regard for the young or the old. You know what I mean? These people, you're going to have to go to them for everything. These people are not going to care if they didn't care when they were spraying water hoses on their grandmom, letting the dogs, bite your grandpop in the nuts. The dog, canine. You ever see a grown man scream? It's crazy, right? It's crazy. And that's what we have to endure even to this day. And at this stage of the game, we still talking about police reform.
Right.
At this late in the game, Dusty Young, at this late in the game, we still talking about training the police.
Right. We got to vote. It's a lot of years.
What do you say?
And we need to vote.
Yeah. At this late in the game, we still talking about voting rights. Like, who gives a damn about voting rights? They still marching for voting rights right now. Right now, we're still figuring out a way that we can have a meeting with the oppressor and everybody can sit down and somehow we can make this whole integration thing work. But we don't have nothing in place to protect us if the whole integration thing fell apart. Right? Because what happens in marriages? They fall apart. And that's what we're trying to do. It's like some sort of like Victorian, back in Victorian ancient times, where the woman that would want power, she would have to marry a man that was powerful. Right. And then vicariously, she would be able to have power through him. That's how we are with the oppressor. We're like trying to marry the oppressor and try to live vicariously through his power that he has, and in hopes that one day he'll pass some of that power down to us. Ain't that is, what kind of life is that? You know what I want? Lead not a beggar's life. But any more on that, young man?
Thou shalt not proffer in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled even more, and no man shall save thee.
Right. We look for everybody to save us. We look for what's his name? The Nation of Islam, right? They said a lot of good stuff. I get it. They said a lot of good stuff, in the 70s and stuff like that, A lot of people out there, maybe they might have been sincere and really wanting to help Black people. I look out, Malcolm X, I think Malcolm X is dope. You know what I'm saying? I like Malcolm X. I like listening to his speeches and stuff like that. But we're at a point now where we can look back at the leadership of old, and we can critique it in a way where we can see where they went wrong, and we can strategize and find out what's the best way for us to move forward, right? At this point in history. That's what Black History Month is supposed to be about. Black History Month ain't supposed to be about us celebrating what the hell George Washington Carver did with a peanut. Or what Garrett Morgan did with the stoplight. God damn. What? Look, what does it matter if name me one Black peanut butter company? It ain't none. Name me one, the family that owns the stoplight. I guarantee you they not one of us. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, stoplights are all over the whole planet. In every country, there are stoplights. So if they held the patent on the stoplight, they should be quadrillionaires by now. But they're not. Because what is Black History Month about? Black History Month is about the things that our ancestors did, our forefathers did, that benefited the oppressor. That's what it's about. It's not about Nat Turner. It's not about, Denmark Vesey. It's not about none of that. It's about what they specifically benefited off, and that's what we get to celebrate. And it's very, very condescending. Go ahead.
So again, if I may add to your point, Black History Month also is like a gift, like something to pacify Black people. You know what I mean? Like, Give them a month to learn. Give them a month and teach them about these 5 dudes every year. Yeah, and they'll be happy. They'll be happy for 400 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and then most Black people, because we get Black History Month, that's the one month where we get to, I guess, be Black and forget about everything else. You know what I mean?
I seen on TikTok. I seen a video where it was this girl who was dressed up like Harriet Tubman, like rapping, doing she was doing like a rap thing on like on a railroad a railroad track. But you know what I mean? Like that's how foolish. They sit back and they laugh at us. They laugh so bad at us because we just don't really understand. At this point in the game, we're still doing the same thing that was 50 years ago. 60, 100 years ago, we're still trying to figure out a way that we can salvage somebody that will do right by Black people. And we see that is an impossible thing to do, right? Because every single nation thrives off of what's best for the collective, right? And culture is not something that is outside of us. Culture is inside of us, right? So what is Black culture? Somebody please tell me what Black culture is. Go ahead. Right. That's what it is. An underground version of white culture. So even though our values we might be different colors, but our values are still the same. So how are you ever going to revolt against somebody who has the same values as you? How are you going to revolt? They believe that you can only have one wife. You believe you can only have one wife. They believe that, you should celebrate Christmas and the holidays. You believe you should serve the Christmas and the holidays. They believe that you can love whoever you want to love, whether it's a man or if you're a woman, you can love another woman. And what do you think? The same thing. So how can you revolt against people that has the same values as you? It's not going to work. They have been able to do something that is amazing that nobody in history has ever been able to do. And what they've been able to do was get us to love them even though we're being enslaved by them. That is amazing. They're amazing. That has never ever been. I mean, they have psychology books written on how amazing of a job they've done on us, on our brains. They have. I mean, wait till I bring it out in this lecture. Yeah, the lecture that's coming up, man. The State of White Supremacy, man. February 26th. We got the tickets right here. Grab you a ticket, man. It's only a $20 donation. You know what I mean? That's cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be food there. We're gonna have drinks there. We're gonna get it on. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do the lecture and then it's gonna break off into we're gonna have some music being played. You know what I'm saying? Get you right, and then after that we'll probably swing out, to the club or something. You know what I'm saying? So come through and get your learn on, man. That's what we here to do. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you in the building that night. February 26th is going to be the last day of Black History Month. And we specifically started it at 4:00. She would have gave us any time that we wanted, Zariah Bakar. But check this out. We did it. I got you, Matala Pa. We did it at 4 because at 5 it get dark. You know what I'm saying? And 6 and 7, we there until 9. We got the spot until 9. So it's something about when I went to a lecture a while back, some years back, but the lecture was at night. It's a different spirit when that joint is at night. I don't know. I want to try to, capture that spirit again, where it's at night. You know what I'm saying? Well, we charged up after the lecture over. We're going to turn the music up. We're going to get it on, like adults. And then after that, Lord be with us. Go ahead, Matala Pa.
What I was about to say about the lecture, ours in particular, about all lectures, but ours in particular, is it gives you, like, after the lecture, they give you the knowledge and the eye to see, like, the world in a different perspective. You see what I'm saying? Like, we all know about white supremacy, but like after this lecture right here, you'll view the world a little differently. You'll start to look at different aspects of your life and see how white supremacy actually still can creep in, even though you're an Israelite. Even though you're an Israelite. And so you'll be equipped with the tools to see that when you leave the lecture and handle things accordingly.
Because I wanted to know, like, y'all hear all this stuff that we be talking about in here, and I just wonder, and that's what led me to do the lecture, because it was like, okay, I wanted to know, okay, we ain't physically changed anymore, so why do we still do the same thing? Why do we still act the same way? Right? And so that led me to want to know about the psychology behind why we do the same thing that we do. And you'll realize, man, when you're going to realize on February 26th that it is a lot of psychology that goes into why we do the things that we do and why we're on the bottom and why we're cool. And we see that as the norm by being on the bottom. You see what I'm saying? The oppressor works all day long. All night long. Guess what? What do? You go to work and go home. You do one shift and go home. The oppressor is working morning, afternoon, night, overnight, morning, afternoon, night, overnight, every single day. 7 days a week, 400 years. 400 years straight. And he's constantly working and getting with the best minds in the earth to figure out how to keep you enslaved. And if you don't know that you're in the war, then you already lost. Because that's the whole thing in a nutshell. If you don't know that you're in a war, how the hell are you going to know how to fight it? All right, let me bring out another scripture. Oh, you want to say something?
So I have a question.
Go ahead, you got it.
I got a question about 2 Samuel 23.
Let's see, 2 Samuel 23.
The question that I'm asking is this scripture, verse 1 and 2?
2 Samuel 23.
And even 3. Is this saying that there's a spirit?
One more time, please. 2 Samuel what?
2 Samuel chapter 23.
Okay, 23.
Is this chapter saying that the Spirit of the Lord speaks through David? Is this a precept to use for that?
Okay, you said 2 Samuel 23, right? 1, 2, and 3?
So I'll read it.
So let's go ahead and read it.
2 Samuel chapter 23 and verse 1. Now these be the last words of David. David, the son of Jesse, said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of the most high power of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel said.
The sweet, like the Psalms is what? The songs, right? Yeah, they're like the song, the sweet songs of Israel.
Verse 2. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his words was in my tongue. Verse 3. The most high power of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me. He that rule me must be just.
You're right. He that ruleth over men.
Over me, Salakia. He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in fear of the Most High Power.
All right, so what's your question about it?
The question is, sir, is this saying that the Most High Power is speaking? At times it speaks through David in the Psalms.
No, but this is okay. This is about, okay, right here on 3, it says, the God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake unto me. He that ruleth over men must be just. Right. Like if so you're saying, like, is this speaking through David?
Like, is David saying, like, especially in verse 1, he says, now these be the last words of David. David, the son of Jesse, said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of the most high power of Jacob.
Right.
Is he saying here that this is David's words and the most high power? Because in verse 2 it says, the Spirit of Yahweh spoke by my mouth.
Right. Because remember that's the one scripture where it said the Lord always spoke at the mouth of his holy prophets. Right. Yeah. So remember, when the Lord speaks, he speaks through men. Right. So like when we speak like through men. Could somebody give me that scripture, please? So
and let me give you an example why they pulling that, sir. Because what I was looking at was when David said, my Lord said unto my Lord.
The Lord said to my Lord.
The Lord said unto my Lord, sit at my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. So was that the most high power? Was that the Spirit of the Lord speaking through David? Right. And this is what we see throughout the Psalms?
Spiritually, he would speak like he said, the Lord. Because remember, the king is the highest Lord on the earth. The king is the highest. Right. So he said, the Lord said to my Lord. Right. And he was speaking in a prophetic nature while he was looking at Solomon.
Right.
Right. So that's the Lord. Right. It's spiritually speaking through him to say something prophetic at that particular time while he was looking at Solomon. Right. So he's saying, because he knew that is Solomon was going to be his Lord in the regeneration. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
it's
exactly
kind of meaty, but
yeah,
go ahead and talk about
meaty. It's very meaty.
No, I was about to ask something if I could. That's why it's so important that brothers in here, young officers, older officers, whoever. When you answering questions, you're in the world and you're answering questions, you do everything based off the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you can answer with wisdom.
Yeah. It's the only way, you know what I mean? And I don't know everything. Y'all already know, man. If I don't know it, I'll just send it up, because we can't answer a question if we don't understand it. We'll just send it up to somebody and get y'all the question later. But there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? You can't answer everything. I don't know everything. Go ahead. Okay. Right. When he said the Lord said to, that's a whole breakdown. I can give you the breakdown. But when he said the Lord said to my Lord, sit thee at thy right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. At that time, remember, that's how Christ was able to confound the Pharisees that came to him and asked him, who do they think he was? And so he said,
David said to Solomon.
Right. David said to Solomon, I'm kind of trying to say it without confusing you or whatever. But at that, and so I'm just giving you the straight up just answer, right? So when King David, when he was looking at Solomon, he was saying something prophetic at the time when Solomon was a baby. So he said, the Lord said to my Lord, how could David say that? How could David have a Lord if he was a king?
Salakia, so you want me to read it?
Go ahead.
All right. This is Matthew chapter 22, and I'm going to start at verse 41. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahushua asked them, saying, what think ye of the Mashiach? Whose son is he? They said unto him, the son of David. He said unto them, why then doeth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. If David then called him Lord,
how is he David's son?
How is he his son?
How is he his son?
Come
on, blow it. Come on, man. Give it to me. So how is he? So if he, how is he his? He's asking you a trick question to trip him up.
Right. It's Yahushua.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. Solomon.
Because he looked at Solomon and understood that Solomon in the regeneration is going to be greater than him. Right. And when he comes back, Solomon is going to be his Lord.
Right.
I know it sounds crazy to you right now. It probably sounds like it's like.
Can I read verse 46?
Go ahead.
Because their response, it was just so cold. Verse 46, it says, and no man was able to answer him a word.
Because they didn't understand.
Like anybody who hears it
is not going to be able to understand what you just said, because that is like, it's meat. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like what Paul said, you know, you got to be weaned off the milk first before you can eat the meat. So
is it safe to use chapter 23 of Psalms to speak about the fact that the Spirit of the Most High speaks through David at times? So sometimes when you're reading through the Psalms,
right,
of the Most High.
I'm gonna get you the scripture on it.
So if I may, I would say that the Most High is always speaking. Every time David opened up his mouth,
right, the Lord was speaking.
The Lord is speaking to David.
Right, because remember the one scripture where it says,
I got Luke 1:70.
Oh yeah, you got it.
You had that, the mouth of this holy prophet? Okay, you got it.
Luke chapter 1 and verse 70. As he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the beginning.
Right. So when you a man of the Lord, and when you speak, you know, you're speaking as a man of God. Like just imagine, like if you were officer of 500 and a brother calls you, right? And I'm using that specifically. But if you were officer of 500 and a brother calls you and says, yo, my rib is acting crazy, she bugging, she doing this and she's doing that, you're gonna give the brother counsel, right? But the counsel that you're giving the brother is not your counsel. The counsel that you're giving the brother is the counsel from the Lord. Right. Because you're one of his priests. Right. And you're giving him counsel on what you learn from the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it goes. It's real simple. But that one, so do you understand what we're saying, or we got to do a breakdown for you for reincarnation?
I understand. I just wanted to hear it again. You know what I mean? So I can explain it to somebody. Like if somebody asks me the question, I'll be able to explain it to them.
Right, but they're not going to be able to understand it anyway because they're not in here. You know what I'm saying? They're not like. It's a lot to wrap your mind around. Go ahead, Matthias. But
I would say you being a young man in here and still learning, you know, fresh. What I would do if somebody asked me that question when I first came in here, I would turn it to a man that can answer the question.
Yeah, just be like, okay,
that's probably like would be the best way to handle it instead of, because look, you gotta remember that if you teach somebody something wrong, you got the power to turn them away from the Lord. You see what I'm saying? You can either bring somebody to the Lord or turn them away. You teach them something wrong, brother. And then a nigga be like, you know what? I'm going to go over here to Islam because that seems a little bit like they know what they talking about over here. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
Always direct them to.
So like, just imagine. So you got King David sitting there with a baby in his hand. What we're reading is the narration. He's just sitting there with a baby, and he's like, you know how you hold a baby and you move, you kind of shake him a little bit, like sit thou there at my right hand. You know what I mean? Sit thou at my right hand. I'll make thy enemies that the Lord said to my. He said, the Lord said to my Lord. You know what I mean? Sit thou at that right hand, at my right hand, till I make thy enemies that footstool. That's what he said. He said to Solomon. You know what I mean? Like in the spirit. So in the spirit, he said something, but it was prophetic in nature. Go ahead.
He looked at Solomon and he knew that he was talking to Christ.
No, he said it in a prophetic nature. Like, you know how sometimes we say things that are in a prophetic nature that you might not know. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like,
it's Christ per se, but
like he just talking, like he sit there at the right hand, make the enemies that footstool. Like that's what I'm gonna do for you. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't know at the time that he was saying something in a prophetic nature, but he did. He said something. That's why when you're a priest, you gotta be careful like what you say.
Right.
You gotta be careful because like what you say could, kill somebody. Because you like, man, these niggas gotta go. You say something like that, you know what I mean? Like, and then it'll happen. They be like, what happened to Reggie? Like, what happened to Reggie? Man, Reggie died in a car accident. You're like, damn. I was just talking about this nigga the other day. So it's kind of like, you gotta, when you're a priest, man, those types of things happen, but at that particular time, he didn't know he was talking to Christ or anything like that. He was just a regular brother who was the king. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So what was we talking about? Oh, white people. All right. We get back on. Moving on. All right. All right. Oh man. Y'all, I don't know about y'all, man, but I use my notes. Y'all ever use y'all notes on y'all phones? I use my notes, man. The notes is the. Remember what I tell you, Dusty? What I say?
I was about to say I just did it, and now I like it. I done used it like 3 times since you told me.
Yeah, the notes. You push that the microphone and just talk. I wish I had this in school. You just talk. And so all throughout the day, my thoughts, I put them down. I even wrote something. I woke up from a dream. I grabbed my phone and I started like talking into the phone, like about the dream that I had. And my brain was like, oh, you talking to girls in the middle of the night? I'm like, nah, I'm trying to remember this dream. She didn't care about none of that. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so the scripture that I wanted you to pull is Salakia. I got him. Okay, here we go. 1 Corinthians 4:1. Matazapa, you check your text message.
I got it, sir.
Hold on 1 second, Warrior. I'm finding this scripture. Hold on 1 second. Salaki, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. All One thumb it. I can't do it like who in here can type with the two thumbs can text with? Oh, you can do that? Damn, all right. Most High in Christ. All right, you got it, warrior.
Kind of a con.
Uh-huh.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Let a man so account of us as of the ministers of Christ.
Uh-huh.
And stewards of the mysteries of God.
And what?
And stewards of the mysteries of God.
Let's look up stewards.
Con.
Let's look. Let me see. Definition of stewards, right?
Hey, Siri.
Definition of stewards. Stewardship.
Like, yeah, I got the definition, sir.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The definition of steward. A person who looks after. So, like, yeah, just went away. 1 second.
You got it, Warrior.
It would be like a manager.
Well,
superintendent.
Give me that one that you had. Let me get it. It's like different ones, but let me get the one that you had.
Con.
Mm-hmm.
A person who looks after the passengers on a ship, aircraft, or train and brings them meals.
Okay, that's one. Stewardship. It's the one I wanted specifically.
I got overseer, sir.
Uh-huh, go ahead. Steward,
I got overseer and governor. And then everything else the same thing.
Okay, it's a job, the job of supervising or taking care of something such as an organization or property. Order. Okay, a person responsible, a person who looks after the passengers on a ship, a person who is responsible for supplies of food to a college, club, or new institution, supervise arrangements or keep order, manage or look after, Okay, so it's pretty much a steward is like a leader, somebody who looks after people, right. Somebody that makes sure that things are in order and running right.
Overseer, sir.
Right, somebody that can oversee, right? And that's what we're supposed to be in here. We're supposed to be leaders because remember, we sitting in this room right now, and what we're talking about is not something that's light. You know what we're talking about? We're the new government of the earth.
Damn right.
We're having a think tank right now. You might not think that you're in the think tank right now, but you are. You're in a think tank right now that's going to change the world. And that's why Satan is at you the most, right. Because you have what you have in your mind, what you have right now, what you're learning right now is the things that's going to represent the right side turning up of the nation of Israel. You know, it's about redemption. And that's what we're fighting for, redemption. And what the whole world is fighting for you not to get. Right, is redemption. The whole world is fighting for you to stay a nigga. Right. I remember this dude, man. I was watching, man. His name was Jawanza Kunjungfu. He's a brother, right? But no, he's a brother. He's a brother. But he's Afrocentric. But he said, If you start in 1619, you're going to end up in the ghetto. But if you start 2,000 years ago, you'll end up free. And I was like, that's pretty dope. You know what I mean? That was a pretty dope statement what he said. And this is what we got to understand is like our mindset is at is not in 1619. Our mindset is like further back. Our mindset is 2,000 years ago. And the only thing that can happen from that is us being free in the end. And that's what the whole world is against. Right now, everybody in here, I don't know if everybody in here, but everybody in here is different. Let me tell you why. Because you should be smoking weed right now. Right? Everybody in here should be smoking weed because it's coming out of the walls right now. You can buy weed already rolled up. I never thought that could ever happen. I never thought that would be possible in my life. I thought that would always be a downside of smoking weed, that you had to roll it up. But right now, you can just buy it already rolled. That's crazy. I'm about to drop the mic. You know what I mean? But that's about right now, you should be smoking weed because everybody smokes weed. Right. So for you not to smoke weed and not be a homosexual and care about black people, that is actually something that's not necessarily normal. Like you're a weirdo right now. You're a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? You don't, you're not bisexual. You're not, gay, or you're not transgender. You're not, on weed and different things like that. You're not normal. You're a weirdo right now in this society because everything that we do is coming out the walls. You know what I'm saying? And that's why every brother that's in here, it is important for us to be leaders, right? To be a leader. Leadership is something that everybody can't do. It's kind of like you could be, most people are like born leaders, but then you got brothers that can be taught how to be a leader too. You can be taught how to be a leader. But the thing is, like, when you're being taught how to be a leader, it's kind of like you got to be different from everything that you was grown up to be, but you can be a leader, right? So it said the stewards, right? Who was reading? Go ahead. You got it.
Let me start from the top.
Go ahead, Warrior. You got it.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1. Let a man so account of us as of the ministers of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God.
And what?
And stewards of the mysteries of God.
What does that mean? Break it down.
We are the we are the ones that bring forth the mysteries of God. Like we have the right understanding of the mysteries of God. Like the manager of the mysteries of God. Come. Verse 2. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful.
Right. What does that mean, to be faithful?
Consistent?
No, not yet. Not trustworthy.
So like consistent, sir?
Faithful. That means working. You gotta work. You gotta work. That's what faithful means. Because how can you move a mountain? If you got faith of a mustard seed, how can you move the mountain? Go ahead.
You can blow it up.
There you go. You've been in class before. But yeah, that's how you do it. You can't move a mountain. I know I've been in the truth. I'm like, I know I can move this wall because I believe in Christ and I believe that we Israelites and I believe I can move the wall. The wall didn't move. Notice that? The wall didn't move. Ain't nothing happened. How can the wall move? Right? But what else? How can I get that wall to move? Now I'm gonna go to the brother right here.
Right, you just gotta bring it home.
This wall right here, I got faith of a mustard seed. I believe in the power of the Most High that this wall can move. Move wall. The wall ain't moved. How can I move the wall?
You can just break it.
There you go. Work. How I can move that wall is tear the wall down and move the wall. That's how you move. That's what Christ was saying. You want to move the mountain, you can move the mountain. You got to work to move the mountain. So how can we move the mountain? We could use it. We can use some dynamite and we could blow the mountain up till it's rubble and then move the rocks out the way. The oppressor can move a whole block. You know, I see it over East Side. He moved the whole block. All the brothers that hustle on that block, they move. That's what makes it so stupid. We was in Trenton, New Jersey at camp, and a brother came over to us. He was like, "This my block. Y'all ain't gonna be out here on my block." And I was like, "This ain't your block." If the oppressor decided to do construction on this block and put a gate up around here, it wouldn't be nothing you could do about it. You don't own no block. This ain't your block. But I understand why you think it is. I truly understand why, right? But at the same time, say it's your block, you have no say-so on what goes on this block. You don't own this concrete. You don't own this permit to be in front of this building. You don't own anything. You just, I know why you're saying it. You're saying it because, you know, you think it's your block and, you know, I get it. You think it's your block and, you know, I get it. But really it's not. All right. Thushy, can I see real quick? Read it one more time. Zerabah Carr, please.
Khan. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 1. Let a man sow account of us.
Read it one more time from the top.
Khan. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 1. Let a man sow account of us as of the ministers of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God.
Stewards of the mysteries of God, right? Because we understand the mysteries of the Most High. The people that's in the Christian church, Creflo Dollar don't. Right? He trying to mimic what we are, you know, what we do. You know, Daryl Scott. Give me some more, Matazabah. Mark Burns. Oh man, Mark Burns. Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas. What's the other one?
Geno Jennings.
What you say?
Geno Jennings.
Geno Jennings. Who else?
TD Jakes.
Clarence. Not Clarence. Candace Owens. Jesse Lee Peterson. All those articulate dummies. You know what I'm saying? That go to school and learn how to be stupid. Right? This is they're not the leadership of black people. Right? But we are. You understand?
Okay.
And this is what we have to understand. We understand the mysteries of the Most High, not those people, because, and that's one of the things that Christ prayed for when he died, and he was happy over. Slakia. That's one of the things that Christ prayed for, because he said he was happy at the fact that the Lord didn't reveal those mysteries to the prudent men. You got it, Thushian?
I just sent it to you.
Okay.
But I got it right here for you.
All right. Let me see. Slakia. You sent that. How'd you sent it through a messenger? See, you're trying to get this.
See it?
Okay. Oh, okay. Most High in Christ. So I'll bring that out in a minute. But, you know, and so we have to be stewards, man. We have to be leaders, you know what I mean? And we have to be those types of brothers that can operate under pressure, you know what I mean? Because you have people that's going to be, you know, underneath of you that's going to look at you to see what type of a person you are. They're going to look at the type of decisions that you make, and they're going to look at you to see if you can make the correct decision under pressure. And that is the tall tale of a leader, right? And one thing you have to have is the what? Presence of mind, right? Psychology, right? The presence of mind, the ability to make the right decisions under pressure. People that are in wartime, are the people that are able to make the right decisions, or the people that have the presence of mind. And we always have to be in that, and we always have to understand that, because every time we go out on Saturday, we going out for war. All right. And so hopefully with this class, everybody, you know what I mean, we was able to talk about Whoopi Goldberg and all the things that, you know, she's not expected to, you know, say the right thing for us. And she's not going to ride off in the sunset with her $60 million that she had, which is probably more, right? She's going to apologize, and she's going to get back in line the way everybody do. Why? Because we don't have black culture. There is no such thing as black culture, just like there is no such thing as a black community, right? We got black neighborhoods, but we don't have there's no such thing as a black community, because we don't control the environment, all right? And hopefully I'll just leave it like that, man. And, you know, Lord willing, man, when I get up again, man, I'll talk about the elephant in the room, all right? All right, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to, let me see. Mataziala, can you come up? Mataziala. All right. Zerabah Carr, come on up. Clap it up. Somebody get the camera on this brother, man.
Look, he had his phone ready.
He had
his phone ready.
All right. Here we go. All right. What we gonna say? What can we say about this brother right here, man? You know, this brother, when he came in, he was consistent. He stayed down. He got right in. Before you came in here, you knew Officer Knock, right? You knew Officer Knock, and you know the brother he just gelled real good with the brothers here, and you know he's an amazing brother, and you came a long way. And what I will say is that when you came in and you got into Hebrew Academy, that wasn't an easy thing to do, because a lot of brothers that come in, they need a lot of time to kind of figure out which way they want to go. And they need that time to, you know, figure out if this is the right thing for them or not. But you got right in. You went into the Hebrew Academy. You did what you were supposed to do. And you took your test. You took your officer's test, right? The first time, you know, you had a little issue with it, you know, but you stayed down and you did it. And you remember before you took it, what did I say? I said, go up there and pass it.
That's right.
Right? And that's what you did. You went up there and you passed your test, right? You made me look good. What the hell? You know what I mean? We all good right now. And so what you're gonna do now is you're gonna go from a trooper, and you're gonna be, you know, because you was in the pan before, because you know we was around here, you know, holding it down, and you was in the pan when it was hot. But now you about to jump in the fire like everybody else. So now all of the, you know, the things that you know, that you might have been doing before, or, you know, or the things you might have been able to get away with. Now you're saying, you know what, I don't want to do those things no more. I want to be a man of the Lord. I'm a man that's willing to stand up and die for the law. And that's what we're going to recognize you for today. And we're going to raise you up to an officer of 50. All right? All right, go ahead and talk.
If I may, we can talk about all the great things that you did, right? We all know that you did some great things because you're standing here right here today, right? But what I wanted to hone on is, you know, when the times get rough, remember what it took for you to get to this point. Remember these brothers that's standing here, that you know, going through Hebrew Academy with you, but the brothers that helped raise you up in here to get you to this point. You know what I mean? Remember that when Satan is on your back trying to get you to, you know, work every Saturday or every overtime every day. You know, Satan got a way of getting you up out of here. Mm-hmm. Remember what it took for you to get to this point. And then that's what's going to keep you grounded in the truth and give you the power to fight against Satan. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what I want to say. And also congratulations, because it's not an easy thing to get to this point. You know, a lot of brothers tried and have failed, but you was one of the brothers that succeeded. That's so right. Congratulations.
Most High in Christ.
What can I say about this brother? I know when I first met this brother, I was teaching a class. I think it was my first time teaching, actually. And I think it was on the Feast of Dedication, if I remember correctly, something like that. And what I remember more distinctly is your commitment, your dedication, how you kept coming. You was consistent. You know what I mean? So what I would like to say to you is just keep that consistency. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Just like General Muhammad's class said, you got to endure until the end. And I'm gonna encourage you to keep enduring to the end. Keep doing these good work you're doing. Keep being there. The most consistent thing you can do is just be available. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So just keep being available.
Right. Be consistently consistent. Right. And now we work now. Now we do the work and everything that it takes to be an officer in the ISUPK. So if you could, Mataziala, could you pour some oil on this brother's head? We're gonna go and bring this brother into priesthood. And now this brother is going to be a priest and take an oath to the Most High that he is never going to go back on.
So Saturday morning, 10 o'clock a.m.
Most High in Christ. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and say this anointing prayer, and we're gonna get the brother in. If y'all brothers could just hold on real quick, and y'all brothers can repeat after me. Yabaraka Yahweh.
Yabaraka Yahweh.
Wayashamarka.
Wayashamarka.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Panyawa.
Panyawa.
Aliyaka. Wayakunka.
Yashar Yahweh.
Yashar Yahweh. Panyawa.
Panyawa.
Aliyaka. Wayashimlika.
Wayashimlika.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shah. Barak. Rapah. Magun. Hagun. Zarabakar. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. The water Amun. And what we said was Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless, heal, shield, and protect. Yeah. All right, both sides Christ.
Officer. Hey, remember who was the first one to call you Officer Zarabba? Remember that?
Right, bro. All right, Most High in Christ. If somebody could turn the camera back around, and then we'll go ahead and end it out. The water. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the class over to Priest and Officer Thusha Young. That's cool right there. That's cool right there.
All right. We got the ISUPK security announcements. Security announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother and new sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has a particular interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is a commandment. Ma'asharah, which means 10th in Hebrew. Numbers 18:21. Malachi 3:8 through 10. That's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give to you. Priest fund, free will offering. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like, you may give. We got up and coming holy convocation, which we have the Feast of Purim, which is coming up. It'll be February the 14th and 15th. All right. All the brothers and brothers need to be out there. Need to get here and get for that holy convocation. All right. If anyone wants to be a troop,
the lecture.
Oh yeah, Salakia, sir. We got a lecture coming up. All right. If you need a ticket, we got tickets. We taking donations.
February 26th.
February 26th
at the Artscape.
At the Artscape, we got the tickets. So if y'all want to come, please come out and support. Make a donation. The donation go towards the school. It's to help build up the school and the brothers in the school. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And saying that Amijum means to stand. We're gonna give the brothers a courtesy salute. Amijum Shabbat. Amijum Barak.
Let the brother know what you said.
All right. What we just said was peace, Yahweh. In the name of Jesus Christ, known to us as Salakia. Yahweh Shah Mashiach, bless you. All right. Yah Matah means to bring your arm down. Sar means to turn. We're going to face the sisters. Amijum means to stand for the sisters. All right. We're going to give the sisters a sister a courtesy salute. Amijum Shabbat. Amijum. Barak.
Yahweh Shema.
Yah Matah.
And what he said is, Lord, watch over you in the name of Christ.
Class dismissed. Yeah, hey, yo.